Element Helix 2-16x50 HDLR.
Bay State Red Wolf Heritage, Huben K1 at the shooting range.
Steyr Pro X.
Servus, thanks for dropping in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Servus, thanks for dropping in and welcome to my next video. A product review of the brand new Element Helix 2-16x50 HDLR scope. I'll start with explaining the meaning of the name, and then we'll show you some videos filmed through the scope. I want to stress that looking through the scope with your own eyes looks much better than in the videos. So yeah, we are filming through the scope where a mirror sends the picture to my smartphone that is capturing it. And yeah, it's obvious that you lose some quality on the way, but I just want to show you what it looks like from a 2x zoom to a 16x zoom. And mostly you will see a rubble stone house which is exactly 65 feet away. So this will give you a hint of how the zoom performs. Now let's start with the name of the Element Helix. I also brought the Element Helix 6-24x50 and the Element Titan 3-18x50. I already reviewed both of these scopes. The new Helix is not a typical Helix, like just the same as the other Helix, only with a different zoom. But it actually has a few features built in that are only known from the Titan, the Aperture class, around 800 euros. But yeah, more about that later. The name, Element Helix. Helix is a series. There's Helix, Titan, Nexus and brand new. I haven't gotten my hand on one yet, the Theos series. The Theos is for another purpose and costs way over 2,500 euros. Helix is the quote-unquote cheapest series with a price around 530 euro. But you will see that the quality is far from cheap. The Helix starts on a really high quality level. 2-16 is the zoom, meaning the minimum zoom is 2 times. The maximum zoom you can set with the zoom wheel is 16 times. 16 times is the zoom factor the scope is set up to. I'm holding the Emerald version in my hand. You can find this one in my shop at jabolo.de/en. You can find the link right under the video. I'm selling Emerald because I think in Europe we mostly handle meters better than MOA, meaning minute of angle. It's just easier for us to calculate. A while ago I made a video on how you can use the sight or crosshair to calculate either the size of the target or the distance to it. This here is an SFP scope, meaning there is one zoom factor that you can use for this calculation. And here it is the 16 times zoom. That is the reason why the 16 is marked in red on the zoom wheel here. If this was a bit too theoretical, just check out my video on measuring distances with your scope on YouTube. As of now it is German only, but you can try automated subtitles. And after that you will understand what's up with the types of crosshairs and lines and dots in it, and of course, yeah, how you can make use of it. Okay, we talked about the zoom, 2-16 times. The 50 stands for the aperture of the front lens, which is 50 millimeter. It has the same aperture as the 6-24x Helix. The 4-16x Helix only has a 44 millimeter aperture. We don't sell this one at Diabolo, simply for the reason that we are focusing especially on airgun shooters. and this scope has a minimum parallax of 50 feet, which I think is too much for airgun shooters in Germany. Most of them shoot 7.5 Joule, and from experience, most of them shoot shorter distances. So in the end, we just don't offer it, so nobody buys something they can't really use. Well, and now either way, we have this 2 to 16 times scope with a higher zoom range. 2 to 16 means an 8 times magnification, while the 6 to 24 times and the 4 to 16 times only have a 4 times magnification. The Titan comes with a 3 to 18, so it is a 6 times magnification. So if you're searching for an all-rounder scope for your airgun, your hunting rifle or your long-range rifle, the 2 to 16 is a very, very good choice. So when do you use the 2 times zoom? Well, you can use it over short distances, or for example while hunting in the woods, where you have to aim in on your target really quick. And the 16 times is for static situations while standing or lying or while in your hide, or of course for greater distances in general. This scope covers it all. You know, I normally prefer FFP scopes because of the mentioned calculation. On the other hand, you know, you just have to go for 16 times zoom and you can calculate with your crosshairs, so it's also totally fine. HDLR means high definition long range and means the crosshair of this scope. Further specifications: the minimum parallax is slightly under 33 feet. The scope has an overall length of 34 centimeters and it weighs only 770 grams. It is shockproof for all calibers. It is nitrogen purged, fog-proof and waterproof. So element optics means high quality. Every scope is manually checked by a technician before being shipped. It is checked to meet different criteria, and with your scope you get a little card with the signature of the employee who checked it. In the box you'll also find a 10 centimeter sunshade and also a little zoom lever. Just open this headless screw and attach it if you like. I'll definitely do it. I love them. And you also get the flip caps, but different ones this time. As you can see, they have a see-through plate in it. Because this is also a hunting scope. You may walk through the woods and suddenly some game appears, so you don't have time to first remove the flip caps. And now you can, if necessary, even shoot with the closed caps. Now for the similarities with the Helix 6-24x50. The main similarity is the turret. It is exactly the same as on the 6-24x50 because shooters loved it. And quite a few say it's the best turret they have ever used. The turrets are MRAD, of course, so one click is 1/10 MRAD and therefore 1 centimeter over 100 meters. For us air gunners, it is 1 millimeter over 10 meters. The turret can be manipulated without tools, Just unscrew the lid. After zeroing in your scope, you remove it, put it back on and tighten it again. No tools needed. What also comes with the HDLR is the zero stop. You can use the zero stop for your regular shooting distance. And if you then shoot over higher distances where you have to turn the turret several times around and then want to get back to your standard setting, you just turn it back to the zero stop. One full turn is 6 MRAD, so 60 clicks, and the overall range is 29 MRAD. The side turret is hidden under this protective cap. You can also leave it open and put a ring coming with the scope on it, for the looks, and you then just don't see the thread anymore. We just talked about the similarities between the 6-24 and the 4-16 Helix. It's the height turret and parallax turret. A major difference to the other Helix models are the glasses. The new HDLR uses the same glasses as the Titan, and even the lenses are the same chemical composition and the same number as in the way more expensive Titan. So definitely an optical upgrade compared to the other Helix lenses. Now for what a lot of people, including me, asked for. The Helix 6-24 is an almost perfect lens. From my point of view, one of the best in this price range. The only thing I'm missing, especially here on my dark shooting range, is the illumination. And you can see it here. The new Helix 2-16x50 HDLR has illumination included. The illumination has 6 different brightness settings with an offsetting between each of them. If you are always using setting 4, you don't have to click 4 times to get there. You just set it to your brightness, and you can switch it off with 1 click. The illumination is powered by a regular CR2032 battery. So yeah, you do not need to buy an expensive one in an electronics store. You get them for 50 or 60 cents online in a bundle, and then you'll have light for the coming years. You hear the specs and facts just pouring out of my mouth. You see how excited I am. What I really love about this scope, and I said it already before, is the crosshair. It has been developed with shooters like Matt Dubber, and if one shooter knows what he's talking about, then I'd say it's Matt. He was part of the development team at Element Optics, and yeah, I just love this tiny super fine dot, and I can shoot really great results with it. You saw me using the Helix 6-24x50 a lot. I'm sure you'll see me quite often with the 2-16x50 in the future, because I'll mount it right away. And if you want to see the size difference, I'm just placing them next to each other. Left the Titan 3-18, right the Helix 6-24, and in the middle the new 2-16x50. 8x zoom, made for everybody. A really amazing all-round scope. Of course you get the scope, fitting mounts, great air guns and everything around it at jabolo.de/en. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, send an email to AirGhandi@jabolo.de. I hope I could answer all your questions and transfer some of my excitement over to you. And I hope you'll be here again next week. Thanks a lot, take care, see you next week. Ciao servus, says AirGhandi.